All right, good afternoon, everybody. This is Danielle over at the Weather Service. We will go ahead and get started with this week's weekly weather briefing. Key messages, any residual impacts from Bertha should continue to improve today. Our main issue or our main concern, such as it is that scattered showers are developing in disorganized bands, and some of those are going to have some high rainfall rates in them, so it could lead to a localized flooding concern this afternoon, mainly if any of them impact urban low-lying and poor drainage areas. Heat's not so much an issue today or even tomorrow, but it will ramp up again by Sunday or so, and that's going to continue into next week. So real quick, just taking a look at the latest update on Bertha. It is still moving westward near the Louisiana coast with most of the strong winds and storms over the Gulf. And like I said, as that storm continues to pull away, any residual impacts are going to continue to improve through this afternoon. Just taking a look, we've gotten a couple questions about what some of the highest winds were across the area. So these are just some of the select maximum gusts that we could pull into this particular piece of software. So looking at these, the peak winds were mainly in the 30 to 40 mile per hour range. A couple sites reported several, occasional gusts over 40 during the height of the storm, so to speak. The highest land-based gusts that we've received was 52 miles per hour at Bayou Bienvenue. But keep in mind that that particular site is a little bit elevated. It's at about 90 feet above ground. So, 40 to 45, probably what most of the peaks were. Looking at the current wind gusts as of 12:30 this afternoon, we'll keep seeing gusts of 20 to 25 miles per hour this afternoon, even with the storm pulling away from the area. A couple stronger gusts of 30 to 40 miles per hour are going to be possible in showers and storms. You can see there was one recently as a shower moved through the South Shore. There was a 36 mile per hour gust in that one. But for the most part, generally looking at about 20 to 25 for the rest of this afternoon. Coastal flood-wise, water levels are falling. We've reached peak tide was either yesterday morning or this morning, depending on location. But the remaining coastal flood advisory was canceled just before this briefing started, so no more coastal flood headlines either. Water levels generally peaked around 1 to 3 feet of flooding along the immediate coast, with less impacts farther from the coast. And so you can see Shell Beach was the quote unquote winner as far as tide gauges is concerned. That one peaked at about 2.94 feet, I believe. So it was definitely within that 2 to 4 foot range that we were forecasting. Here's the latest radar loop. So again, scattered showers, a couple thunderstorms. Right now, we're not seeing much lightning at all, but we can't rule out a thunderstorm or two this afternoon. But they're going to generally be in these broken and disorganized bands across the area this afternoon. And our main concern with these is going to be high rainfall rates. We do have a lot of tropical moisture still in the area. So if those showers and storms do move over any urban low-lying or poor drainage areas, it could lead to a localized flooding threat. Rainfall totals are generally going to be less than a half inch of rain for most places. As you saw in that radar loop, the storms are moving. But if you do end up with a couple of those heavier storms over an individual location, you could see some higher totals. Most of this forecast rain is going to fall today. So this is a 7-day total, and you can see there's really not much in the way of rainfall over the next 7 days. So most of the rain will be today in those broken bands, with little to no showers and storms Friday through at least the middle part of next week. So going into Sunday and then next week, hazardous heat is going to return to the area. So you can see the 3 to 7 day hazard outlook. We are outlooked for hazardous heat during the July 25th through 29th timeframe. And as far as the maximum heat index values are concerned, it won't be too bad Saturday based on our current forecast, but by Sunday it looks like we might need some headlines, and definitely by Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, where some places could see heat index values of upwards of 110 degrees during the afternoon hours. Unfortunately, those warmer than normal temperatures do appear likely to continue into the first part of August with greater than 50% chance. So that's your 8 to 14 day temperature outlook. And to go along with that, it's not a strong signal, but rainfall is leaning below normal to end the month and begin August. So in summary, as far as impacts are concerned for the next 7 days, Most of the active weather would be today with those showers and storms. So wind gusts of 20 to 25 common this afternoon with a few stronger gusts possible in showers and storms. Maybe some localized flooding, mainly in urban, low-lying, and poor drainage areas if a heavier storm moves over the area. And then heat becomes a concern by Sunday, continuing through the end of the month and into early August.